This whole thing is weird. This phone, I had a different messenger on it um, for a couple days. It was called the Magic Messenger, and it was showing me text that people I text were texting to other people. Doesn't that seem a little bit strange? And it had some other shit. It was as if it was a whole nother dimension of reality going on. And I thought that was cool. I was like, well, that's interesting. That's cool. But then again, I'm in that fight or flight mode. This is the judge. The judge shoots very extreme ammunition and shotgun shells. What are you doing with them? Super X. Maybe those aren't shotgun shells. It's a different type of slug. I don't know. Why are you so armed? This was the first pistol that I ever had. This one's a 9. It's not loaded. I had a 380. I like to have it because it makes me feel safer. Have it by where I sleep. There's no point in just leaving it in the room, sitting next to his spot in the bed. When I text him, he doesn't seem to. He doesn't seem to have all of his faculties. He might be asleep, but my dad's not out of his rabbit ass mind at all. He's not, and he hasn't been. He's actually been quite lucid the whole time, mostly, except when he got to being really sick. And the sad thing about it is that, honestly, I didn't think, maybe neither did he might have started to realize it before he began to share, and I'm the same way. Whenever I get sick, um I try to shake it off. I try to shake it off before oh, we got a message. Let's see what it says if it lets me read it. Because I asked him, I'd already sent him some of his stuff. I can't see it yet. I'll have to stop it. And it was from Grubhub, saying squealing is perfectly acceptable. Who the fuck is squealing? I've never used Grubhub. They've never had. They've never been able to send me any food. I have to use DoorDash. I use DoorDash, and I don't necessarily like it because it's too fucking expensive. I had to use all my savings on it because I didn't have any food. I didn't want to ask somebody to take me somewhere to go shop and buy some food because I think I was sick. I was burning a fever, but I think that's just uh, allergies. I think it's just allergies. I like to go out for some gun practice and test these some bitches out, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Just wanted to look at the world, say that we're in. You know, normally I'm into like esoteric stuff. I'm into different ideas. I like I do a lot of talking about magic and tarot type stuff and soul development. Not everybody's into that. I understand that. And other people probably aren't into, you know, somebody totally going into their life bullshit. But you might as well journal it, you know, journal it for the time being so that I can look back and remember. I'm starting to see some of my videos in my own feed, which I've never seen them before like that. And I don't know if that's because I've got the 150 thank you flowers for that, for adding your whoever other accounts you had uh help me out. Am I mean, I'm trying to raise my subscriber count and I want to because there's things I'd like to do in the future in with making these videos. There is arts and crafts and different stuff that I like to do. I haven't been watching Kelly's videos lately, and I apologize, Kelly. I'm still wondering what subscriber I lost. I don't want to lose any of them. I have a low amount, but I like to have the ones that I have. And of all the people, there's Mark Vaughn, which I think I used to talk to on the phone, or I think I did one time a long time ago. And the one guy, I can't remember his name, but he used to always comment when I would talk about dreams and stuff, and I haven't seen any of his comments for a while. But I don't. What am I doing? I don't think that he would unsubscribe. But I would like to engage people more. I don't hardly get that much engagement, and I'm in a weird spot right now because I'm not exactly sure which way to go. I don't necessarily want to do the video games. I do like doing some humorous stuff every once in a while, depending on when stuff comes out. I'd really like to play with some of those AI voices and mix some stuff up, but since I'm just using a phone and not a computer, and I'm not buying any of those services, not yet. But there's so much stuff coming out that the AI stuff is going to be just insane. Here in the future because they're already making like AI videos. That fascinates me. That fascinates me to be able to dictate by text a video that I'd want to see and how it would just, spit it out. I think that's quite fascinating and that's very interesting. But what is it going to do for the future of content creators? I mean, it's going to give you a lot of, it's already given so much new and diverse humor, watching the presidents play video games and talk shit to each other. I think that's fucking hilarious. There's a lot of I never played Morrowind or Skywind or Skyrim or any of that, but I always thought they were interesting games, seeing them being played from afar. And I like listening to the humor that they make based on those games. It's funny. I'd like to see somebody do that with some. Yeah, well, but nobody knows what, Mario has a voice, but Mario's voice is, kind of cartoonish and stupid. But since there's not a standard voice that's for like Legend of Zelda, like that would be funny to see different skits of the Legend of Zelda, Link and the Princess and all that shit. But Nintendo games kind of went really weird and silly. In a way, they're kind of like childish, and people grew out of them that just played games. I didn't. I'm not a gamer per se, but I am interested in games. I play the Call of Duty when it lets me on my phone and try to do some stuff because it's actually got my game saved. I can have it on different devices, and it doesn't have to be restarted each time I change device. I've got that settled down, but it's having problems kicking me out. So to find things that I like to do, I need to find something else to do for money. If I was able to get this up and do this to where I could monetize it, that would be great. That would be great. But got a long way to go before I can do that. But I've been shadow banned and in trouble for so long because of the shit that I say. I would get in trouble all the time. I'm lucky that my channel hasn't been kiboshed or deleted. Especially during the time with the pandemic, because that whole thing never felt right. It still doesn't seem like it's legit. And then for them not to want to question where it's coming from, I mean, come on. If somebody like say China released that virus, whether we help them or not, it should be the news people's job, their soul in reporting and journalism, period, should be to pursue those things. And they haven't. They don't pursue anything. And I watch the news, but I watch alternative news to see what they say. But I don't believe it. I don't believe it anymore. I don't automatically disbelieve it, but I do think like what is most likely to be being said? What is most likely the reason they're saying these things? And people need to get in that mindset, you know. We really could with the amount of technology that we have, with where we are in advancement, if we were a little bit spiritually sounder, wise, could communicate, and weren't falling for all this social engineering and this indoctrination bullshit that's clearly communism. And then with the guns, number one killer of children is guns. Yeah, well, whose guns? Is it people that have guns that legally can have guns? Are they the one that are those the guns that are killing children? How much you want to bet it's not? How much you want to bet it's like criminals? It's people that could get guns that aren't supposed to have them. A criminal can get a gun, can go and commit a crime, and It doesn't matter if I didn't have a gun, if I didn't legally have a gun and couldn't defend myself, pow, I would be defenseless. I'm not committing crimes. The whole thing about guns is like they imagine that there's some fantasy society where the bad people aren't coming at you with guns. Like the bad people are just going to stop and say, "Oh, world peace." What are they going to start using tasers and robbing people? No, no. And in Houston, where I'm from, they've been doing that jugging thing, which I don't know why they come up with these stupid ass names that they come up with, but just following women that have gotten money out of their ATM, following their car to wherever they go in the next place. Like, dude just power slammed a woman, a black dude to a black chick, just power slammed her, took all of her money. Society's getting so much more crazy, and they don't want to, they don't want to penalize the people that are doing violent crimes. They want to let them out, and meanwhile, they want to. I don't understand people that their logic is just so fucked up. All you have to do is think a little bit logically, and you don't even have to think that hard or that deep about some of the things that just make sense. Our society depends on us being armed to defend ourselves and our way of life. That means like if another country was to come over here and fuck with us, which surely they would if we didn't have guns, we wouldn't have a way to defend ourselves. They could just come in and take over. But as long as we have guns, we the people, we can defend ourselves against that. If we were to get a president that was totally evil and just wanted to totally take everything, martial law it, people could defend themselves against something like that. And it's very important. All this weird, silly shit that's going on, you know, we have to come up with another way of doing it. If the society's not going to sit down and dialogue with each other about things, which it doesn't seem like they can, the left just won't do it. They won't, they're too much like in a hive mind. None of them will go on any shows and talk about anything. None of them will, it's just, it's such a mess, and the things that the people are doing, like changing the words of things, it's so sad because it's taken all the advancement that we have made to be a society of people that work together, and it's undermining it because people are fighting. Young kids are just going crazy. They want to say white people are the problem for everything. And who benefits from that? Who benefits from that? The politicians and the system lords? They benefit because you continue to vote for them. And black people that vote for the Republicans, I mean the Democrats, dude, those people were the KKK. They've never gotten off of the racist bullshit, and now they're just being racist and damn near got the country to where people are talking about being segregated. What was the point of fucking ending segregation? You know, their motives for doing everything that they do is off. Can't we have a society where our motives are to actually care and listen and love one another? Is that just not possible in this 3D world? I think it is possible, but I think that we have to do a lot of work. before we get there, and I think it's worth it to at least try, and at least try to dialogue with people or something like that. I don't know. That's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to make this video and point guns at the screen. But I love y'all. If you would comment and if you got any ideas, any suggestions, just put them forward because I'm taking them. I'm trying to figure out new things, new ways to do things, a new direction to go. Because I'd really like to do something with this that I'm doing, but I'm trying to feel the pulse for the people on, you know, what direction actually take. All right, later.